Hello and welcome to the Auron Software channel. In this video we'll demonstrate how to set up a new SMPP connection to your SMS provider using the Auron SMS Server. We'll also quickly walk through some of the most important settings. SMPP is a way to connect to your SMS provider directly over the internet. It's commonly used for sending and or receiving large volumes of SMS messages in a very short amount of time. Think hundreds or even thousands of SMS messages per minute. It's easy to connect to an SMPP provider or even multiple SMPP providers simultaneously with the Auron SMS Server. To create a new SMPP connection, open up the Auron SMS Server Manager application as we've done here. Inside it, navigate to the Channels page by clicking on Channels in the Configuration part of the left tree view. Now click on New Channel to pop up the New Channel selection window. This window shows all of the available channel types. Since we're looking to connect an SMPP provider, we'll scroll down to select SMPP Client. Now double-click to open the SMPP Client wizard. The first page of this wizard contains some general settings. The name and description of the channel, whether the channel can send and or receive, as well as the daily limit for this channel. We'll leave all of these settings to their default values. Next are the connection settings. This is where you'll enter your SMS provider's settings. The default values connect to the Auron Test and Demonstration Gateway. There are a couple of things to note on this page. The Secure setting adds TLS security to your connection. This checkbox should only be checked if your provider supports or requires a secure connection. It's checked by default. However, if you're having trouble connecting, try unchecking this checkbox. The system ID and password are used to log in to your provider. A login is also called a bind in SMPP terminology. The system type is an optional field that's rarely used. The field should be either SMPP or left empty. The advanced settings allow you to control timeout behavior as well as some additional connection settings. You can leave these at their default values unless your provider specifies values for them. The same goes for the bind TLVs. These are optional parameters. Use the Test Connection button to make sure that your settings are correct. These settings are correct. We'll leave the defaults to connect to the Auron Test and Demonstration Server. The Auron Test and Demonstration Server requires a phone number to continue. This is because with the Auron Test and Demonstration Server, you can only send and receive from your own mobile number. Next up are the general settings. In most cases, the default settings here are okay and you can click on Next. An interesting setting to note, however, is the SMS default setting. This setting applies when your SMS is not a Unicode SMS. If you're having trouble with certain characters such as the @ sign, the euro sign or square brackets, you can try some different values here. The default setting works for most providers. The inquire interval is a keep alive for the SMPP connection. Generally, this should be a value between 30 and 60 seconds as specified by your provider. The Message Defaults page specifies default settings for each message that's sent through this channel. You can override these settings in every message you send. Some SMPP providers specify optional TLV values that can affect the routing or billing of your message. You can specify TLV values for each message individually as well. The Advanced Settings page mainly affects performance. For instance, the multipart mode setting. If you're sending large numbers of multipart messages in short succession and you're having trouble with parts getting mixed up on the receiving side, you can try to set the multipart mode to 16-bit UDH. Use the other multipart options only if specified by your provider. Enable detailed tracing only while you're troubleshooting, since this impacts performance when doing high volumes. Increasing the number of pending PDUs or the queue sizes can improve performance with some providers when handling peaks in message volumes. However, in most cases, it's best to leave these values to their defaults. Click on Finish to create the channel. You'll see the channel status turn to green to indicate that the channel is online. We've now set up a new SMPP channel and are ready to process high volumes of SMS messages. This concludes our tutorial on how to set up an SMPP connection in the Auron SMS server. Try this for yourself by downloading the trial version from the Auron software website.